They thought you were finished. They looked at you, saw the struggle, saw the setbacks, and they thought it was over for you. They thought they'd finally won. They thought they'd crushed you under the weight of your failures. They saw the cracks, the moments of hesitation, the times you stumbled, and they laughed. They called it defeat. But what they didn't realize is that those cracks, they weren't signs of weakness. They were battle scars, proof that you were still in the fight. You see, they were quick to judge. They wanted to see you lose because it would validate their own insecurities. Watching you fall gave them comfort, gave them something to point at so they could say, look, they're no different than us. They can't make it either. But the truth they can't accept is that your struggle isn't an end. It's a beginning. Every moment they thought you were losing was just another chapter, another step on the path they couldn't see. Let them think you're losing. Let them celebrate, pat themselves on the back, and call it a victory. Because their laughter, their arrogance, will be their downfall. You're not losing, you're just loading the cannon. You're biding your time, gathering your strength while they waste theirs. They think they've seen the worst of you, but they have no idea what's coming. They've never seen someone like you rise from the ashes. You're not losing, you're evolving. Pain, struggle, setbacks, those are your teachers. Those are the things that separate you from the rest. They look at failure and see a wall. You look at failure and see a doorway. When they see you take a step back, they think you've lost ground, but they don't realize you're winding up, ready to strike back harder. They want to believe you're done because it makes them feel safer. But you thrive in discomfort. You embrace the shadows they run from. They don't get it. They think power is about never failing, about always being on top. They think losing means weakness. But the strongest people you'll ever meet, the ones who make real change, the ones who rise to the summit, they all know that loss isn't the end. It's the catalyst. It's the beginning of something far more powerful than they could ever comprehend. Loss is where true strength is forged. It's where fear meets courage, where weakness transforms into resilience. They thought you were losing because they mistook your silence for surrender. They thought the quiet moments, the times when you were down, meant you'd given up. But they don't understand silence. Silence isn't the absence of power, it's the presence of strategy. They think you've stopped fighting, but really, you've just stopped wasting your energy. You're conserving, recalculating, waiting for the right moment to strike. They'll never see it coming because they can't understand the power that comes from stillness. The power that comes from knowing exactly who you are without needing their approval. They think you're losing because they've never seen real strength. They've only seen surface level success. They only understand what's easy, what's obvious. But real strength, it doesn't scream. It doesn't beg for attention. It sits in the dark, it waits, it prepares. They thought the darkness would swallow you whole, that you'd drown in your setbacks, that you'd be buried under the weight of your failures. But you're still here. You're still breathing. And that terrifies them, even if they won't admit it. You're not losing. You're transforming. Every time they counted you out, you learned. Every time they laughed, you sharpened your focus. You took every punch, every hit, every blow they threw, and you let it mold you, let it shape you into something they can't understand. The more they thought you were losing, the more dangerous you became. Because every loss only adds fuel to your fire. It makes you hungrier. It makes you relentless. You're not the same person you were when this started. The one they thought was weak, the one they thought would never get up, he's gone. In his place stands someone who knows what true power is. Power is not in never falling, it's in getting back up every single time. It's in taking every ounce of doubt they threw at you and using it as ammunition. Power is standing up when the world has pushed you down so many times that most would have given up. They want to believe you're down because they can't handle the idea of you rising. They can't comprehend the idea that someone could go through what you've gone through and still find a way to get back up. But you've never needed their understanding. You've never needed their validation. Let them think you're losing. It just makes what comes next all the more satisfying. They thought you were losing, but all they were really seeing was your preparation. They were watching you build the foundation of something they can't touch, something they'll never understand. You've been through hell, and you're still standing. And that's something they will never be able to take away from you. Every scar, every failure, every moment they thought would break you has only made you stronger. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them proof. Your silence, your resilience, that's all the proof you need. Let them watch. Let them doubt. Because when you rise, when you take back everything they thought they'd taken from you, they'll have no choice but to see you for who you truly are. You are not losing. You are not defeated. You are the storm they never saw coming. They underestimated your resolve. They thought they could predict your story, that they could write the ending for you. But they forgot one simple truth: you're the author of your own life. You decide how this ends. And you've already decided that you're not going to stop, not going to quit, not going to give in. They can't comprehend what it means to be unbreakable. They've never had to face the kind of pain you've faced and keep going. They've never known what it's like to have everything taken away and still get up in the morning, still fight for another day. You're losing? No, you're surviving. And there is no greater strength than that. They think you're losing because they see you on the ground. They see the bruises, the exhaustion, and they think that's the end of the story. But the story's not over. The ground is just where you find your footing. The pain is just where you learn your limits, so you can break them. You are not losing. You are rising. You are coming back stronger, harder, with a fire they can't put out. Let them think you're losing. Let them think they've won. Let them savor their false sense of victory, their fleeting moment of triumph. Because when you rise, and you will rise, it will be with a force they can't ignore. It will be with a power they can't control. They thought you were losing, but you were just waiting. They thought you were done, but you were just getting started. The look in their eyes when they realize the truth that you never lost, that you've been building, growing, preparing all along, will be worth every second of doubt, every whispered laugh behind your back, every arrogant smirk. They think they know what losing looks like, but they've never seen someone like you. They've never seen someone who takes every failure, every setback, and uses it to become something unstoppable. They thought you were losing because they don't know what real power looks like. Real power doesn't flaunt itself. It doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to boast. Real power lies in the ability to rise again and again, no matter how many times you're knocked down. And you are the embodiment of that power. So let them think you're losing. Let them think it's over. They won't see it coming when you rise, when you come back and take what's yours. They thought they had you figured out, but they never understood you at all. You are not losing. You are learning. You are growing. And soon enough, they will know exactly what kind of mistake they made when they counted you out. You are not just surviving, you are thriving in the shadows. And when you finally step back into the light, they will know. They will know they were wrong. They will know that the only thing they've achieved is to make you more relentless, more dangerous, more unstoppable. They thought you were losing, but the truth is, they've already lost. They just don't know it yet.